Alright, so let's get straight to it. If you're thinking about buying the Z-Grill's 700 2C 2E pellet grill, you're probably wondering the same thing I was. Is this thing actually worth the money, or am I going to regret it the second it shows up on my porch? I've been cooking on it for a while now, and I'm going to tell you what I love about it, what I don't, and the stuff that nobody seems to talk about. And just so you know, Z-Grills did send me this unit, but they're not paying me. They didn't get to see the script, and if something sucks, I'm gonna tell you. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly whether this grill fits your cooking style or whether you're better off going with Traeger, Pit Boss, Weber, or one of the other options in that same $600 to $900 range. And trust me, there are a few things about this grill that surprised me. Some good, some not so good, so stick around. When I first started shopping for a pellet grill in the $600 to $900 range, I was staring at a lot of different options. Traeger Pro Series, Pit Boss Sportsman, Weber Smokefire, Camp Chef, you name it. And honestly, I had no idea which one would actually be worth it for me. This is the stage where most people get stuck comparing prices, specs, and reading a million online reviews. So why did I seriously consider the Z-Grill's 700 2C 2E? First, the price, $777. It's right in that sweet spot where you're not going with a cheap budget model, but you're not buying something that's basically a luxury toy either. And here's a fun fact. Z-Grills actually used to manufacture grills for Traeger. Yeah, Traeger used Z-Grills designs before moving their production elsewhere. So when people say, oh, it's just a Traeger knockoff, I kind of roll my eyes. It's more like Traeger is using Z-Grill's old playbook, not the other way around. Now, let's address the thing that I hear most. Aren't pellet grills cheating? Listen, I get it. I spent years tending to charcoal fires, adjusting vents, babysitting coals. There's something undeniably manly about that. I get it. But here's the truth. Pellet grills aren't cheating. They're just a tool that you use for consistency. If you want to spend your Saturday morning feeding wood to a fire, awesome. More power to you. I don't judge. But if you want to put a brisket on at 6 a.m. and go play with the kids, go grab lunch, watch a game, and come back to a perfect cook, that's where a pellet grill really shines. This grill gives you a Wi-Fi control, a PID controller for steady temps, and build quality that actually feels pretty solid. And you get all that without needing a second mortgage. Here's the thing that sold me. Z-Grills has this wild program. I honestly thought it sounded like a scam, but the idea is this. Buy one qualifying grill and over 50 years, you get 10 more grills. You just have to pay for shipping. And that's completely insane. Nobody is doing that. And I made a separate video breaking it all down, which I'll link at the end of this video. Just make sure to check the comments down below. So if you're shopping in this price range and want a grill that's reliable, durable, and gives you consistent results, the Z-Grill's 700 2C 2E deserves a serious look. It's not the cheapest, it's not luxury, but it nails that value meets performance sweet spot. And that program, that alone might make it the smartest buy in this segment. Specs are great, reviews are nice, but let's get real. You want to know what it's actually like to own this grill day in and day out. That's what I'm going to cover next. Assembly, build quality, and what it's like to cook on this thing without it being a weekend production. First, assembly. The box is heavy. It's 113 pounds, and it took me about 2 hours, maybe a little bit more. But that's because I actually read the instructions instead of just winging it. And I wasn't keeping track of my time. I also had a few breaks, had to grab the kids from school, eat dinner, spend some time with the family, and of course film this video, which slows things down even more. And that's why you'll notice that the lighting in the video has actually changed. It started out nice and bright and it went to dark. If I had just sat down and focused on the grill, I'm pretty sure I could have done it in about an hour. The stainless steel pieces are heavy, but everything fits together perfectly. The welds are solid, the powder coating is even, and the hardware feels sturdy. No cheap screws or flimsy brackets. And the wheels, they're surprisingly hefty, which is nice. These days, I'm a fat nerd dad in my 40s, and I'm not as strong as I was back in my 20s. So moving a fully loaded grill that's easily over 100 pounds by myself, that would normally be a nightmare. But with this grill, it's a breeze. Now, cooking space. This is where the Z-Grill's 700 2C 2E really shines. 697 square inches. That's enough for 4 to 5 racks of ribs, 24 burgers, 4 to 5 chickens, or probably about 2 briskets. If you love hosting backyard cookouts, it's got the capacity to handle it. And one feature that is pretty cool is the pellet clean out system. If you've never owned a pellet grill before, you might think, so what? But let me tell you, when you want to switch from hickory to apple or to cherry or clear out some gam pellets that have swelled up, this makes life so much easier. Now, a small gripe here is it doesn't get all the pellets out. You still have some leftovers, but you can use a shop vac to get those out. I think that they should lower the pellet chute a little bit more to the bottom for a more complete clean out. The ash clean out system is another winner. You just push all the ash into the detachable cup, remove it, and there's no mess. No dust everywhere. And this is like a small detail, maybe, but after cleaning up other grills, you'll learn to appreciate this. A minor complaint here that I have with this setup is that the ash cup is at one end of the smoke chamber while the fire pot is at the other. I think it would be smarter to attach it to the fire pot, but I'm not sure how that would actually affect airflow or how the pellets would burn. Either way, it's manageable. Then there's the ignition system, which uses a silicon nitride rod. Fancy word, I know, but it has simple benefits. It lights the pellets in under 90 seconds, it's more durable, and it lasts longer. I've never had a failure here. You get 2 meat probes, which is so awesome. Think of it like this. You have a whole packer brisket. You could put one probe in the flat and the other probe in the point. Or you have a whole chicken. You could have one probe in the breast and the other in the thigh. You always know exactly the internal temperature of the meat during the cook. The hopper holds 28 pounds of pellets, giving roughly 20 to 25 hours at low temps. That's longer than the Traeger Pro Series at 18 pounds or the Pit Boss Sportsman at 21 pounds. So you are covered for those long cooks. And I almost forgot to mention that you get a cover in the box too. And as you can see, I like covers, but I had to buy those and they're like at least $50 each. So that's pretty cool that they include one in the box. Now, my first real cook was an eye opener. I came home on a Wednesday, not a weekend, a Wednesday, and I decided to smoke some chicken thighs. My old charcoal setup would have been like a 2-hour hassle. Clean the ash, load the coals, wait for the heat to stabilize. And then with this grill, I was ready to go in under 20 minutes. And then I was cooking. That's when I realized that this thing isn't just for weekends, it's for any day of the week. So what does living with the Z-Grill's 700 2C 2E really mean? Solid build, heavy duty hardware, large cooking space, smart cleanup features, weeknight convenience without the stress. There are some quirks like the ash cup placement and the hopper cleanout, but nothing that ruins the overall experience. The convenience and the performance outweigh these minor annoyances. At the end of the day, all of this, the build, the Wi-Fi, the cleaning systems, doesn't matter if it doesn't actually cook food well. And that's exactly what I want to show you in this section. What the Z-Grill's 700 2C 2E produces on your plate. So the big questions I get all the time are, does it hold temperature? How's the smoke flavor? How many pellets does it go through? So let's break it all down. Temperature control. This is where the PID controller shines. Think of it like cruise control for your car. You set it to 225 degrees, and it constantly adjusts with small bursts of pellets and airflow to keep the temperature locked in. I've done overnight briskets where I stayed within 3 degrees for 8 hours. Let me repeat that, 8 hours. I could actually sleep. I didn't have to go out at 2 a.m. in my slippers and see if my temperature was where I needed it, or if my coals had burnt out. Super efficient and convenient. Here's the reality. Pellet grills produce a cleaner, milder smoke than stick burners or charcoal. Some people think it's not enough smoke. My take, it's different, not worse. And if you want more smoke, you can layer stronger woods. You can add hickory, mesquite, oak, or throw in a smoke tube, or cook at a lower temperature like 200 degrees for a longer period of time. Now my best cook, a 14-pound Packer brisket for a family gathering. I started it at 10 p.m., 200 degrees, went to bed, woke up at 6 a.m., and I had perfect temps. By 2 p.m., it was tender, juicy, with an awesome smoke ring. Everyone was asking how I did it. Now, my worst cook, it was salmon fillets. Completely overcooked them. But here's the thing, that was on me, not the grill. I forgot that pellet grills take time to adjust temperatures. Gas grills let you react a lot faster. Pellet grills are more about planning. I wasn't able to lower the temperature fast enough to prevent overcooking. Again, that was on me, not the grill. 225 degrees, expect 1 to 2 pounds of pellets per hour. At higher temperatures, Obviously, it's going to be some more. With a 28-pound hopper, that's enough for a long cook without mid-cook refills. Exactly what you want for overnight briskets or all-day pork shoulders. And here's a pro tip that I learned. Don't stick to one pellet flavor. Mix it up. Hickory and apple or cherry and oak. You get more layered flavor and avoid monotony in your cooks. What I really love is how versatile it is. Low and slow briskets, hot and fast chicken, reverse searing. The 700 2C TE can handle it all. And the best part, you can fire it up on a random Tuesday or Wednesday night and get amazing results without turning cooking into a full production. With the Z-Grill's 700 2C 2E, here's what you're getting. Steady, reliable temperatures, no babysitting required, a clean, approachable smoke flavor that's consistent every time, flexibility to handle everything from quick weeknight dinners to big weekend cookouts, and predictable pellet usage with long cook times so you can relax and actually enjoy the process. It's not perfect. The smoke is milder than a stick burner, and you need to plan temp changes. But for me, that's a trade off I'm happy with. This grill consistently delivers great food with minimal drama. So if you're still on the fence about the Z Grills 700 2C 2E pellet grill, here's the deal. For $777, you're getting a solid, well-built grill with dependable temperature control, convenient features like a Wi-Fi app and dual meat probes and a cover, and plenty of cooking space for family dinners or weekend cookouts. Is it perfect? Of course not. No grill is. The Wi-Fi app can act a little finicky sometimes. The smoke flavor is milder than what some hardcore barbecue fans might want. And like any pellet grill, it needs regular maintenance to keep performing at its best. But those are small trade-offs for everything it does right. It delivers consistent results, making weeknight cooking easy and has plenty of space for big cooks. It's not trying to be the cheapest grill out there, and it's not trying to be the most high-end. It is trying to be that sweet spot for value and performance, and I think it really succeeds there. The best part is that it qualifies for the program, and this is where you get 11 grills for the price of one. I have a whole video that breaks down that program in detail. So go ahead and check it out now, and I'll see you there.